here. And thank you for joining me on today's live. I hope it's lunchtime wherever you are or wherever you are on the globe. Grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and join me for a conversation around leadership. I thought I'd jump on today because I've just come back from interstate running a number of different programs around leadership, which is something that I love doing more than anything, building a world of great leaders and leadership. Don't you think that we need more leaders, more great leaders? And if you're like many of us, we want to be the best versions of ourselves. We want to be great humans. We want to be great leaders. And thought I'd jump on today with my cup of coffee to share with you some of my insights to really help as many of you as I can around this leadership space. Please don't make it bigger than what it is. Leadership isn't a role or title. It's an attitude. It's a choice and it's an action. If you can start to learn leadership now, it'll make the greatest difference in your career and in your life. And if you are embracing this leadership and self-development space, I'm so proud of you. And I'd love to know what you're doing and how you're learning and growing your mindset around this space, because having a growth mindset is fundamental. Now, every time we run our leadership programs, we always start with more of that personal leadership, the self-leadership, the self-awareness around values, beliefs, principles, purpose, strengths, preferences, all that emotional intelligence, everything to do with self-awareness. It's so important because the more aware you are of yourself, the more aware you are of others, the more you practice self-awareness and self-acceptance. You know, it's so fundamental, right? I'm just going to grab some coffee. Hang on. So I would love to know how you're going about the self-awareness piece, but I wanted to share what I think is really important. Well, I think it's the center pole of leadership. It's all about integrity and honesty and trust, right? And also being congruent in your behaviors and your actions. And part of that is absolutely around your values, your leadership values, your life values, right? Now, do you know your values? If you do, please share them, because I'd love to know in the comments what your values are. If you don't, start to think about your values. There's so many great tools. If you Google free values assessments or free values tools, there's so many that you can get for free. Reach out to the team at LeadershipHQ if you'd love our free values tool. We have it as part of our toolkits. Which we don't have on our site, but we're happy to share with you. But if you do go to my soniamcdonald.com.au site, there's loads of great free resources you can access anytime. Start to think about your values and your principles. So think about, I have my top 5 values around courage, kindness, empower, respect, wisdom. These are the things that are my compass. They're the things that really drive my behavior. So they're really important. So think about your values and how you see your values. What do they mean to you? How you can bring them out into your leadership as well. I agree. Who you are and what you do and why it matters is really important. I always ask these questions in my leadership programs, in my workshops, in particular around questions around who you are. So one of the things that is part of my self-reflection questions are, am I staying true to my values? Who do I want to be and what do I want to stand for? And finally, why do I want to lead? Some really great questions. Why do I want to lead? Who do I want to be and what do I want to stand for are really important. So those sort of things to think about and journal. Your values are fundamental, because if you think about us as humans, right, it's like we're like icebergs and we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, but underneath, which is the bulk of the iceberg, which is kind of leading those behaviors and actions, are things like our principles, our life experiences, our values, our attitudes, our beliefs. So start to kind of step back and think about, what are my values? What are my principles? Okay. Now, and I do write a lot about this self-awareness piece in my book, Leadership Attitude. Yeah, I know I'm plugging the book. It's an awesome book, okay? I love this book. It's an amazing book. Everyone gets it as part of our leadership programs and coaching. It's a truly practical, transformational book. I'm going to move I've got a couple other books there too. I recently just read this book. I've read it actually a couple of times. Highly recommend this book. There's so many books that we could recommend. So reach out to us if there's any other recommendations of books to help you be the best version of yourself. This is one of my faves. I love this quote in one of his chapters around character. I'm a big one around your character. Your character is built from your habits, right? So that's why understanding and reflecting on your values are really important. I wake up every day, set my focus around, how am I going to be the best person today? Why am I leading? What sort of impact can I make? How staying true to my values? What are my values? I need to stay true to them. But I love this quote. Our values decide our character. Our character decides our value. Don't you love that? Our values decide our character, and our character decides our value. So if you think about, if you want to be the best version of yourself, right? Understand your values, know what they mean to you, how you can espouse them, how you can put them into action. If you focus on that tiny tweak, big changes, right? If you focus on your values, focus on what you stand for, who do you want to be in terms of your character, what a difference that is going to make in your life and in your leadership and in your career. Okay. That is really, really important. So grab that book, grab Leadership Attitude. I just thought I'd jump on today, kickstart you to think about staying true to your values, setting goals that are based on your values, understanding your principles, like, what are your principles around leadership? That self-awareness piece, if you could really focus on your values and your principles, and those questions around who do you want to be, why do you want to lead, what do you want to stand for, it'll make a huge difference to where you are going in your life and what you're going to start to attract and how you're going to lead and live a life of greatness and being the best version of yourself if you really stay true and congruent to your values. So I thought I'd jump on today. If you need any help finding some great values assessments and tools, please reach out to the team at LeadershipHQ. Just go to leadershiphq.com.au. Check out my free resources on my site, soniamcdonald.com.au. But yeah, just Google. There's so many great ones. I recently did a values assessment with my daughter, who's a young adult now, and it was so powerful to sit down with her and really get to understand what she cares for in terms of what gives her meaning, what drives her behavior in terms of her values. Do the exercises with your team. Share your values with your team, with your peers, with your manager, and actually sit down and do the values exercise with your team as well. It's such a great team building activity, and it creates that understanding of an awareness of each other and of yourself. Anyway, I thought I'd jump on today. Remember, leadership is an attitude and a mindset. We all have leadership within us. So go out there and lead, because we need more leaders. We need more great humans and leaders to help change the world and help us connect more and collaborate more. And remember to always stay kind and stay courageous. Thank you with gratitude. I'm so grateful that you watched my live today, and please reach out. One of our values is wisdom. So if there's anything we can do to support you in your development, your growth, your wisdom and knowledge, we're always here to serve you and help you. Thank you so much. Take care.